All right, so now we've got some important information on screen. We've got our O2 gauge, we've got a fuel gauge. We're told that the gravity here is 0.3x, and we've got a jetpack. Give it some thrust. All right. You can see we've used a pixel of fuel doing that thrust. What's up, tough? Nice of me to drop down. I'm getting some 0G training in. That's fine. Give me the dirt. What's he mining for? Tektite saw something crash outside the village. That's new and different. Oh, hey, how about that? They were on fire watch. Went to check it out. Safety first, right? This is the man who lost a foot in some ghost matter, isn't it? Okay, well. Looks like we're going down here. Gravity is now at 0, 0. We are in a completely 0G cave. And there's a good reason for that, actually, because we're actually falling into the center of the planet. This is the planet's core, where all of the gravitational pull evens out in the center of the world. So the button we're going to press here... Oh, which button is it? Here, let's make our way. Here we go. There we go. We press and hold to match velocity. That just uses our thrust to make us... We're still in motion, but we're not in motion relative to this object that I'm looking at here. So match velocity is very, very useful. We got to get close enough to repair it. Here we go. Repairing the satellite node. We'll just stitch that back together using magic? But moving through 0G space is one of the most important skills of the game. And it's very nice that we have that match velocity button. That's one of the things that I really had to learn about. Is holding the match velocity button in order to stop yourself relative to what's around you. Very, very important in this game. I struggled with the controls in this game until I learned how important that match velocity was. There should be, yeah, one more spark down here. So we press the stick to lock onto it. Then we can match velocity with it. And from there, we can kind of just make micro adjustments. Get close enough to repair it. Stitch it together. That's one of the things you have to learn in Outer Wilds, is that everything is always in motion. There is no being at rest. You can feel like you're at rest sometimes if you're just on the surface of a planet somewhere, because the things around you are not moving relative to you, but you are moving because you're standing on a moving object. I'm looking for the cave entrance now. How do I get out of here? Hey man, I fixed your satellite. I don't want to run out of fuel in here. That would be really bad. And you can match velocity at any time, even if you're not locked on, to just kind of give yourself some rest. Where did I come in? They must light the exit, right? So we can see it more easily? Maybe not. But yeah, being in the center of the planet puts us... Oh, up here, I see. Puts us into a zero gravity situation, just like being out in outer space would. Here we go. This is where we need to go. Being disoriented in 3D space is also a big part of this game, like a major part. Up here, please. Yep, there we go. Alright, we made it back. I do not want to go back down. Hey man, I fixed the thing. Oh, you weren't the guy who asked me to fix the thing. Who asked me to fix the thing? One of you guys did. Go ahead and put the suit back. I don't think it let us out with the suit. So yeah, we got some 0G training in. We learned about match velocity. We learned... So the first time I played this game, obviously I had no idea what any of that really meant. And I really did struggle with the controls for most of my first playthrough. That's one of the things that people criticize the game for when they play it, is it's very, very difficult learning curve just moving your character around sometimes. I do find it to be very rewarding once you actually do learn quite a lot about how to move around in the game. Hey man, I fixed your thing. Nicely done. Of course, it'll be more stressful when you're hurtling through space, but just remember not to hit anything big. Go get the launch codes. And let's try not to get killed out there. Thanks, man. I don't think you have to do that little side quest, but it's instructive. I turned my flashlight off. I didn't mean to. That's not the right way. Zero G Cave. This must be... What is this? I saw smoke coming from Young Bark Crater up north and figured I would go check it out. Ah, Tektite, yes. Use the scout launcher. Just please don't break it while I'm gone. So yeah, here's Tektite's Firewatch station. Let's, we can launch the scout. And use it to take snapshots of the orbit. Pretty nice. And then if we hold the button down, scout comes back. Cool. Scouts are going to be very, very important later on. This is just explaining how. So yeah, it's telling us some interesting things we might see if we launch the scout. If we launch the scout east, we'll see the Nomai Ruins. North is Young Bark Crater. Northwest is the Geyser Mountains, which we just looked at. South is the Quantum Grove Crater. Very, very interesting stuff. In fact, let's see if we can get a decent shot of Young Bark Crater. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. There is smoke, indeed, coming up from inside the crater. So hope Tektite's okay. He's out there checking stuff out. So I guess that's his job, is to be up here launching and retrieving this scout in order to... He was on Firewatch duty. He's making sure that all of our shizzle doesn't burn down from time to time. What's up here in the lookout station, my friend? Oh, it's Moraine. Hi, Moraine. You have a very oddly shaped head. Hello, astronaut. Good weather for the launch. It's always good weather on Timber Hearth. Any good sounds from space lately? So yeah, they're going to teach us about the Outer Wilds Venture frequency, which they can listen and they can hear the traveler's music. So they can hear Rybeck's banjo coming from Brittle Hollow, which is where Rybeck must be stationed. As long as they can hear the music, they know that their people are safe out there, which is nice. So depending on what time of day or night it is, since different planets are in the sky at different times, everything is in motion. As we've learned, like we can find, like everything's up there now. It looks like, there we go. There's the green blob that we found. Should just barely be able to hear. I think it's the flute. We can zoom in a little bit. And behind the flute... Oh no, in front of the flute. We can hear the whistling from the moon overhead. The big rock in the sky up there. So we're going to be able to use the signal scope to identify those instruments as we travel throughout the solar system. I think I got lost. I was looking for the observatory, and I think I went the wrong... Well, I didn't go the wrong way. There's the observatory up there, of course. Didn't go the wrong way, obviously. We wanted to go to the Zero G Cave anyway, but I think we just go back down here, right? Yeah, here we go. Observatory. Oh, no, it isn't this way. Hey, man, let me tell you something. Getting lost in Outer Wilds is one of the best things that can happen. If you play this game blind like I did, which is the best way to experience the game, I think. You watching this Let's Play series is like the third or fourth best way to experience the game. But if you, like, getting lost is part of the game. You're supposed to get lost. Getting lost is how you discover things. It's how you learn things. It's how you make terrible, hilarious mistakes and get yourself killed in very, very funny ways. And in doing so, you become more acclimated to the game world. You learn more about what's going on. You learn more about yourself. We've made it to the observatory. Launch tower is back down that way. Well, good. Now we can learn all about Outer Wilds Ventures. Here they are, the heroes of Outer Wilds Ventures. Hornfelds, Gaussen, Feldspar, Esker, and Slate. Outer Wilds Ventures founding members. There they are in all their glory. Four Eyes, Aviator helmets. I love these guys. I love them. Over here, what do we have? Timberhearth's first and only space program was founded to explore the farthest reaches of our solar system. Feldspar was the first Hearthian to intentionally be launched into space. I love that phrasing! We will discover that you can unintentionally launch yourself into space in this game. It can happen just accidentally. Like I said, hilarious mistakes teach you things about the game. They orbited Timber Hearth, later made the first of what would be many landings on the moon, the Edel Rock. Ah, so we heard the whistling from, the big rock that's going around the planet. Hey, buddy. Here's Hal. Oh, hey, it's my favorite astronaut. Launch day at last, huh? The translator tool's inaugural flight. So, this is what makes us special joining the space program, is all of the other pioneers out there exploring the planets, but none of them have the translator tool that we have. Just think, we'll be able to translate any Nomai text you want anywhere you are. The two of us put hours into inventing that tool, so don't break it. So yeah, we've explored a lot of the solar system already, but what we didn't have was a way to read the ancient text that we found in the ruins out there on the rocks. I'm not going to break it. I'm super excited. I can't wait to go to space. Yeah. So what's the dirt? You here to see new Nomai statue? The new statue, huh? Gabbro brought it back with them from Giants Deep, and Hornfels just finished prepping it for display. It's it right here. Neat, huh? The first fully intact statue of its kind, and it's in great shape. He's getting carried away. He loves his job. See, his passion is archaeology and study ancient Nomai history, whereas ours is, of course, traveling the solar system. A beautiful statue. Weird, though. This creature only has 3 eyes. Bizarre. An ancient species who dwelled in our solar system thousands of years ago. Our most detailed look at the Nomai, who appear to have been covered with a layer of fur. They were decorative jewelry, carved as part of their antlers. We have no idea where they come from or what happened to them, although they have built structures everywhere on the solar system. Everywhere we go in Outer Wilds, we will find traces of the Nomai. This piece of Nomai writing was essential to deciphering their unique language. Although the text is linear, Nomai text often branches off from a central point. Interestingly, each branch tends to be written by a different author. Ah, yeah, here's our translator tool that we have. Untranslated Nomai writing? Not for long. Cassava says, "We're nearly ready. Felix and I have finished our construction, and she says calibrating the device won't take long." So you see, the Nomai do have genders. They have male and female, and all of them have 3 eyes and antlers. And every time we translate a bit of text, the response text, kind of like it's a Reddit thread. Fortunately, the Adelrock's lack of atmosphere will make calibration simple. After all this time, I'm thrilled to finally resume our search. This is our first look at Nomai writing. Now, one thing I'm going to implore you as you're watching this series, if you're not familiar with the Outer Wilds and you've decided to not play it for whatever reason, try to keep track of which Nomai are speaking. When I first played the game, I didn't think it was important. I figured, okay, it's all just flavor text, right? Explaining the lore of the world. But what I discovered on replaying the game is there are intricate little storylines that travel through the Nomai text, which you discover in a non-linear order. And individual Nomai have personalities and have stories, and a very, very enticing element of the game was discovering that for myself. This is an example of a Nomai piece of art, some decorated pottery found in Brittle Hollow, depicting all manner of things. They had vibrant imaginations. Were they born in our solar system? Were they born among the stars? And if they were, how and why did they come here? Some questions we're hoping to answer with our Xenoarcheological expeditions. Now that we have a translator tool, we should be able to offer quite a lot to the Xenoarcheological findings of the Hearthians. Parts of a Nomai skeleton. Unusually, they only had 3 eyes. So it's interesting to us that they adapted for living exclusively on land because the Hearthians are amphibious. We can live in water just fine. They have shockingly fragile bone structure. So there's no relationship between us. The Hearthians could not have descended from the Nomai. The Nomai are truly alien. We have no idea where they came from, where they disappeared to. We're going to have to puzzle it out. Nomai technology brought back from space by the astronauts has helped us to advance our own technology. I guess we reversed engineered some of their stuff. We got the little scout, which, as we've seen, we can push a button and warp the little scout back to its starting, because it has warp retrieval capability that we basically took from the Nomai. I like to think that the Hearthians don't really understand the technology or how it works. Like, warp technology is strange and bizarre to us. Purple crystals are always fun. Taken from a Nomai ruin on Brittle Hollow, it seems to generate a local gravity distortion. Haha. It does indeed. If we see the little purple crystals, we can walk on the walls, on the floors, on the ceilings, and as we'll see, going through the game, floor and wall and ceiling, these things are all relative when it comes right down to it. The anglerfish specimen was found attached to the landing gear of one of our ships that flew too close to dark bramble. It appears to be well suited to living in dark places with minimal atmosphere. Aw. Look, turn off the... He's got his own light. I don't need to illuminate him with my flashlight. Ah. A beautiful specimen. Yeah, you keep on trucking, little guy. Keep on keeping on. Ah, here we go. Stars like our sun generate light and heat by fusing's a great word. Fusing hydrogen into helium. As it grows older, the star runs out of hydrogen and starts to contract. As the star's core contracts, it gets hotter, causing the outer layers to expand. The star becomes a red giant. It gets bigger and bigger, and when the core gets hot enough, it starts to fuse helium into carbon. Once it's massive enough, it will continue to fuse carbon into even heavier elements like iron. Ultimately, it will collapse under its own gravity and then explode in a violent event called a supernova. Based on Chert's observation, this will one day happen to our own sun. Not only the Hearthian sun in this alien solar system, but also our own. Here on Earth. The Earthian sun, if you will. Ooh, more purple crystals. The strange rock moving around in this grotto appears to react to conscious observation. The level-headed among us realize there must be some optical illusion at play, but Gabbro claims the rock, quote, exists in all possible states until it is observed, whatever that means. Whatever is actually happening, both sides of the debate agree the effect is extremely creepy. Oh, well, the rock is there. And if we move around, now the rock is there. It is creepy. Oh my goodness. Ah, it's gone. This is what must cause Watson to teleport around when you're not looking directly at him. I'm not going to explain that reference. I'm just going to leave the creepy purple rock room. Watch closely. These balls move on their own. The ground is perfectly level, so what do you think causes this spooky motion? The answer is the moon. As it orbits the planet, Adelrock's gravity pulls on objects from different directions. In fact, it's pulling on you right now. So this exhibit is showing us tidal forces at work. And this is part of the splendor of this game, is the Mad Lads actually modeled the motion of astronomical objects and the gravity that they exhibit. And it's an important part of the game going forward. So we're actually standing on a planet moving through space, and there's actually a moon orbiting this planet that is very, very slowly causing tidal forces to act upon these three balls rolling back and forth. Like, I could just sit and watch this for hours. I probably didn't actually discover the importance of this little exhibit, again, till my second playthrough of the game. I feel like maybe I didn't have enough context on my first playthrough. The first playthrough of this game is so wacky. You have to learn so much, and a lot of it, so much of the game is designed to not make sense the first time you look at it. And only later you rediscover something you thought you had already kind of put away. Hornfell's observations. At first I thought the points of light in this image were stars, but they're not. They're galaxies. They have their own Hubble deep space field. This image covers just a tiny patch of the whole sky, which means the universe contains at least 1,000 times more galaxies than we previously imagined. There are so many weird aliens out there, you guys. I think I need to sit down. According to my redshift calculations, every single galaxy in this image is moving away from us. The farther away a galaxy is, the faster it appears to be moving away. It's almost like the entire universe is expanding. But if that's true, was everything closer together in the past? How far back can we extrapolate? Did the universe have a beginning? Did Hornfels independently just discover the Big Bang? I have spent hours just staring at our own like ultra deep field images that we've actually taken here on Earth. Oh, fantastic stuff. Here's the man I came to see. Hornfels, you have a large hot dog finger, sir. Finished pre-flight observations. Local conditions are good. Time to get our newest astronaut off the ground. And you'll be our first astronaut ever equipped with the Nomai translator tool. Just tried it out downstairs. The new hotness. Gonna be a great trip. We're better equipped than ever to unravel the mysteries of the Nomai. Very, very proud of our... So I guess our player character, helped to create this tool. Like, we didn't just hatch yesterday and now we're going into space. What's our plan once we're in space? Interesting question. You know what? I don't know. Overwhelmed by the options, perhaps. So this is the difference between the Herthian space program and our own, like, say, like NASA, is that they don't plan their space flights. They just train their astronauts, and then they just have fun out there, wherever you want to go. If you need help getting started, we could go to visit Esker on the moon. They're alone on the Addle Rock most of the time. Sure, they'd appreciate it. Esker must have been the whistling man that we heard. There's also ancient Nomai ruins on the moon, and so far, nobody's gone up with a translator tool. I'm the only one who has the tool. And go put it through its paces. Well then, looks like all that's left to do is head off. All in all, it's a fine day for a launch. I am ready to die in space. Isn't that kind of unlucky to say that before a launch? Probably a good prediction, though, if we're being optioned. Here's the launch codes. We have them now. Awesome. So we have launch codes, ... line ... dash something something. So it's like Morse launch codes. Let's work our way back downstairs now. Now that we know how to get off this blasted rock. Whoa. Oh, good. The creepy statue's coming to life. Shoutouts to Nourishim for sponsoring this video. If you liked the video and you want to see more, please tickle my thumb, leave a friendly comment, and ring my little bell.